we've come to a deal, pretty much subject to getting it written. It'll take probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or 5 weeks. As you know, we're going to be in Chile together at the big summit, and maybe it'll be then, or maybe it'll be sometime around then. Another big issue that we've come to conclusion on is currency, foreign exchange. We've also made very good progress on technology transfer, and we'll put some of technology transfer in phase 1. Phase 2 will start negotiations almost immediately after we've concluded phase 1 and papered it. And I think phase 1 should happen pretty quickly. So you have intellectual property. We have an agreement on intellectual property. Financial services, the banks and all of the financial services companies will be very, very happy with what we've been able to get. And every time there's a little bad news, the market would go down incredibly. And technology transfer, we'll have some technology transfer in the agreement, but technology transfer will largely be done here and also in phase 2. So we're going to start negotiating phase 2 after phase 1 is completed and signed. And then there may be a phase 3, or we may get it done in phase 2. So you'll either have 2 phases or 3 phases. Well, thank you very much. Could I see that? A tremendous deal for the farmers, a purchase of from $40 to $50 billion worth of agricultural products. To show you how big that is, that would be 2.5, 3 times what China had purchased at its highest point thus far. So,
firstly, on behalf of the Chinese government.
So the tariffs on the increase from 25% to 30%, that will be suspended. We'll be paying 25, but we're not increasing it to 30. And then you might want to mention the additional tariff.
The additional tariffs are scheduled to go into effect, as many of you know, the second half of September. That is scheduled into effect on December the 15th, and the president has not made a final decision on that, but there's plenty of time to make that decision. And that is certainly part of this process that the Chinese are working their way through. So the first one has been suspended. The second one is subject to the president making a final decision, but the way this timing works out, that'll be well in advance of that date.
For this opportunity for me to speak up, and all my colleagues are happy about it.
I think they're great. I think the relationship in certain ways may be better than it's ever been. We've been through a very tough negotiation. There's never been a negotiation like this. In all fairness, I give China tremendous credit, because for 25 or 30 years, they've done very well with the U.S., and now we're doing something jointly. We're doing it in a fair manner. I give China credit for what they've done over the last 30 years. Tremendous credit. I don't blame China. I blame the people representing our country. Now we have a deal that I think ultimately is going to be just fantastic for China. So we also have the agricultural structural issues. We have some incredible progress on the structure and structural issues. And Bob, perhaps you could discuss that, please, on agriculture, and explain the importance of the structural issues that we've solved.
Well, I would say probably at least as important as the purchases is the fact that we've corrected a variety of SPS, what we call phytosanitary issues that we've corrected, biotechnology issues, and it will be much easier now for American farmers to be able to ship to China, and we've made some corrections on our side too that will help the Chinese side.
And that's been completed and pretty much done.
That's correct.
Another big issue that we've come to conclusion on is currency, foreign exchange. And Steve, do you want to explain that, please?
We've had very good discussions with Governor Yi, the head of the People's Bank of China, their central bank. We've also had extensive discussions on financial services, opening up their markets to our financial services firms. So we have pretty much almost a complete agreement on both those issues. And as you know, Mr. President, currency has been a very big concern of yours since the campaign. And we have an agreement around transparency into the foreign exchange markets and free markets, so we're very pleased with that.
Very happy with it. We have great respect for China, great respect for President Xi. And I want to just tell you that I watched the 70th anniversary in great detail, and it was an incredible event, and congratulations on the 70th, everyone. That was really something very amazing to watch. Mr. Lighthizer has done a terrific job. All of my team, I think, has done a fantastic job. The Vice Premier, I want to just thank you very much for being here with your team. You're very tough negotiators. Congratulations. But it's something that we both realized right from the beginning is very important, not only for China, not only for the U.S., but for the world. And every time there's a little bad news, the market would go down incredibly. Every time there was a little bit of good news, the market would go up incredibly. And yet other news that was also very big, the market just didn't really care. They just seemed to care about the deal with the USA and China, and that's okay with me. So we've had a tremendous, really negotiation, a very complex negotiation, but something that's going to be great for both countries. And Mr. Vice Premier, would you like to say something?
代表中国政府对特朗普总统在国庆节对中国表示70周年表示祝贺，表示衷心的感谢。
Firstly, on behalf of the Chinese government, we would like to extend our thanks to President Trump for your congratulatory message to the 70th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China.
我们非常同意，中美解决好贸易关系，有利于中国，有利于美国，有利于世界。现在呢，我们已经正在向非常正面的方向走着，取得了很大的进展。
We very much agree that to get the China-US economic relationship right is something that is good for China, for the United States, and for the whole world. And we are making a lot of progress towards a positive direction.
这2天呢，我和莱特希特大使穆德金台长进行了非常好的沟通。我们在诸多领域，像刚才总统先生说的这些领域，取得了一些实质性的进展，我们感到非常高兴。
Over the recent days, I have had very good communication with both Ambassador Lighthizer and Secretary Mnuchin. And Mr. President, as you just mentioned, we have made substantial progress in many fields. We are happy about it.
我们将继续努力。
We'll continue to make efforts.
感谢总统先生给我发言的机会，
And thank
中国的
you
同事都非常高兴。
for this opportunity for me to speak up, and all my colleagues are happy about it.
Well, thank you very much, and it's a great honor. I think that the currency foreign exchange agreement that we made will be of tremendous benefit, both in terms of the magnitude of it and in terms of the simplicity of what we're able to do. It'll make a very complicated process much simpler. I think that in itself, I just see as something that we've all been working for. Yes, please.
All President, message to you, sir. Do you mind I ask my interpreter assistant to read the letter to you?
Well, thank you very much. Could I see that? That'd be
Of course, yes.
That's very nice. Thank you very much.
I need another page in
Yes.
English version.
Oh,
Do you mind interpreter to read it?
yes, this is for guys like John that aren't good with Chinese. They'll have that magnified so fast your head will spin. Well, it's a tremendous message, and thank you very much. And I've read this, and I appreciate it very much. This is from President Xi,
Yes, exactly.
and we knew that we were going to have a very successful phase 1, and it took us a long time to get here, but it's something that's going to be great for China and great for the USA, and we appreciate it very much. And please congratulate President Xi. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. President,
So we just made what I guess is one of the biggest deals that's been made in a long time with China. The vice premier has just left my office. We have a great deal. We're papering it now over the next 3 or 4 or 5 weeks. Hopefully it'll get finished. Tremendous benefit to our farmers, technology and many other things, the banking industry, financial services. And I guess by now you know pretty much we've had a very, very good couple of days with China. And it looks like that deal is very much on its way. It'll be the largest deal ever made for farmers. We're talking about a $40 to $50 billion purchase and other things. I mean, it's an incredible deal for farmers. I think they'll have to go out and buy more land and buy bigger tractors. So we'll hopefully get that done pretty quickly. Well, we'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it. This will go a long time into the future. This is a buy. This is a very big buy. It's 2 years, but it'll go a long time into the future. The biggest deal made was $16 billion, and this could be 50. So this is many times more, many times bigger than any deal ever made for the farmers. Say it? Oh, they'll keep their word. China's going to keep their word. They want to make the deal. They're going to keep their word. Well, I don't know. I haven't spoken to Rudy. I spoke to him yesterday briefly. He's a very good attorney, and he has been my attorney. Yeah, sure. Well, we're looking at it. We didn't discuss that, Steve, on this deal, Huawei. We didn't discuss it having to do with phase one. This is phase one of an either phase 2 or phase 3 deal. So we haven't discussed Huawei relative to this deal. So basically, the status will remain the same. Well, I'm not going to talk about it now because we're just starting the negotiation of phase 2. We'll actually begin as soon as we're finished papering phase 1. But phase 1, it's one of the biggest deals ever made, and unbelievable for technology, unbelievable for the banking industry and services, and for the farmers, there's never been anything like it. We're going to hold off on the 5% increase from 25 to 30. Well, if you look at the deal is so incredible. The deal is a great deal. And I have to say it again. The farmers, it's going to be $50 billion worth of purchase. The most they've ever done was 16. So the farmers in Iowa, Nebraska, and all of these other great states that I love and that obviously like me a lot too, they're going to have to buy more land fast and bigger tractors, or they're not going to be able to keep up with the order. Also, China over the last 2 weeks, as you've probably seen, has been buying a lot of farm product, So we're agreeing not to put that additional increase. So we're going to get 25%. And when the increase kicks in on October 15th on the 25 to 30, we're not going to charge that. That's going to be held in abeyance, subject to the final deal. Well, it's basically everything I said. I don't have to go through it, but tremendous for banking, tremendous for technology, beyond tremendous for the American farmer and rancher. Tremendous deal. Have a good time. See you in Louisiana. We're going now to Louisiana. We're going to have a great rally. I hope you're going to come. Okay?